We are in Istanbul, Turkey. It has been a crazy few weeks. We have not filmed anything in a little while. We left off in Cappadocia and then we headed to Ankara before coming here. We haven't been filming much. There's been a lot going on personally with us and in the world. It kind of took a little break. So we're going to catch up on what's been going on the last few weeks with us. So we left Cappadocia and on the way to Ankara we stopped at Tuz Gölü, which is a large salt flat, just to kind of walk around and check it out. It was a quick little trip, so check out what we did there. So this morning we're leaving Cappadocia, which is really sad. We had such a great time there, but we are on our way now to Ankara, which is actually the capital of Turkey. It's not Istanbul, it's Ankara. And on the way to Ankara, we're gonna stop at Tuz Gölü, which is the largest salt lake in all of Turkey and the second largest lake in Turkey. And it's supposed to be really beautiful. I know in the summer months it is a pink color, and it's actually a home to a bunch of flamingos. And it acts like the salt flats in Bolivia, where sometimes depending on the weather conditions and the level of water, you can see the reflection of the sky on the ground, so it ends up being like a giant mirror. I don't know about the conditions today, but it's October now, so I don't think it'll be pink. I don't know if we'll see flamingos, and I don't know if it's gonna be reflective, but still a cool place to stop. It's on the way to Ankara, so might as well see it while we're here. So it should take us about 2 hours to get there, so we'll see you in a little bit. So there it is in the distance. Parking lot's pretty empty, and it's pretty overcast today. I don't know if a storm's coming in, and it is a little early. It's 11, so I mean 11's not early, but for Turkey it's early considering a lot of places don't even open till 10. But we're here after a pretty uneventful drive. The baby slept the whole time. We did have to stop once because he wouldn't stop crying. I think he's just tired. He was having a hard time falling asleep. And Isla's been playing with her tablet the whole time, so and she's happy as can be. But we're gonna drag him out now, go take a look. Looks like there's a playground over there actually. There's like a sign that you could take a picture with. There looks like there's a restaurant, cafe, and bistro here. And I think the parking is free. I didn't see anything saying you had to pay, and I don't think there's an entrance fee either, but I could be wrong. But let's head out and check it out. So entrance is free, but they do make you walk through the building with a shop, a restaurant, ice cream, all kinds of things to try to make you buy something. And then you gotta walk back through there on the way out, so. And Isla refused to take a family picture with the sign because there's a playground here. So all she wants to do is play on the playground. So. And it's starting to rain. There's a few raindrops. Jeez, where are we?
In the...
Oh, you got boogies. Look at that bugs. Look at the puppy, look! Look at the little puppy. He's so little. He's so cute.
Hi, puppy.
Be nice. Oh, he's so cute. You see some water?
I'm gonna take off my shoes.
Oh, no, baby, no, because I don't want to have to put them back on. I can't reach your feet right now. I know some people take off their shoes. Got a little bit of water here. Smile.
No, no.
Hi, buddy. Where are we? Where are we? Say hi. She's taking off her shoes, isn't she? Yeah. She's taking off her shoes even though I said no. much water. There's like a little tiny pool over there. I don't know if they drain the lake or if it naturally drains certain times of the year, but there's really no water. There's no flamingos. You can see a little bit of pink in the distance, but not really. But it's pretty cool. It's huge. A lot of people walking barefoot. They say the salt has healing properties.
It's every place.
Yeah.
Literally every place.
They say,
Iceland.
they say that everywhere. But a lot of people walking barefoot, just taking pictures and enjoying the atmosphere. But it's free, so come here, take your time, walk around. Buddy? Buddy's watching the drone. Is that cool? And then after we visited Tuz Gölü, we continued on our way to Ankara, which is the capital of Turkey. And we didn't plan on doing any touristy stuff there, and we didn't. So this hotel room is nice. We have a single bed, double bed, a crib over there, a TV that unfortunately does not have an HDMI, so I can't put the Fire Stick in. A little vanity here. They left us some water bottles. It's horribly noisy though. It's right on the main street. But
Mom, look at I got, Mom.
it's a good location. There's not a parking lot, but there is a private parking garage, but you have to have them valet it. So since we're on a main road, we have to pull up on the sidewalk and then go in and give them the key, and then they move it to the garage, which is always pretty weird driving up on the sidewalk. But it's nice. They had a nice breakfast buffet down there this morning that they have every day. And this only cost us like $45 a night, 45 US dollars. So not bad at all. And this room is actually a lot bigger than some of the hotel rooms we've stayed in. It's pretty decent. And honestly, it's super clean. I was a little worried, but super clean. The people at the front desk were nice. They spoke enough English that we could get by. And like I said, it was cheap. So it was actually on par, if not cheaper, than some of the Airbnbs I looked at. But we decided that since we're only here for 2 nights, that a hotel will be better. You know, then we don't have to worry about cleaning on our way out. We don't have to worry about not having food, going to the grocery store, so we're just gonna have breakfast here. We stayed at a hotel for 2 nights and we used it to run some errands. We had to go do a little shopping at the mall. We finally found Ryan some shoes in his size. We've been to dozens of stores and nowhere has any size 13 US. Finally found a store that had some, but there was a very limited selection, so the shoes he got were pretty much the only ones they had in his size, and they were over $200. So I'm glad we found some shoes. Hopefully they'll last him. We got the kids some winter jackets. We got them some new pajamas and stuff like that. And the baby actually bit a hole in his binky that first night in Ankara. He bit a hole in it. Yeah, he bit a hole in it. That was the last binky, huh, bud? That was the last one, and we've looked in every store. They don't have this kind here. They didn't have it in Turkey. They didn't have it in Croatia. So, looks like you're getting a new one, bud. They don't have itsy. They don't have itsy ritzy binkies overseas. So, I gotta find something that looks like that shape because he will not take anything else. We've tried. We brought 3 binkies on this trip because he only likes one specific kind. We brought 3 of them in June, way back in June. It's November now. Brought 3 binkies and 2 got lost within like the first week or 2. So he was holding on to that one binky for the last couple months and he finally bit a hole in it. So went to the mall, got him a new binky. He likes it. It's not the same kind that he had before, but we found one that was the most similar. He likes it, he's happy, so happy about that.
Let me see the toy again.
Hopefully these ones will do. It's not exactly the same, but it's the closest I could find. And it cost us $99.99, which is about $3.60, 70 cents. So not bad for 2 of them, and they glow in the dark. All right, buddy, what do you think? Ethan, look what I got for you. Look, look. Ethan, look. Ethan, buddy, look what I got. Come try it. Just see if you like it. Here you go. Come try it. Let's see. Does he like it? He's not sure. Oh, you're just gonna bite it? Is that your new?
Bite through this one.
Is that your new thing?
Mama, Daddy.
We have a winner.
You like it?
For biting, at least.
A winner for biting. Are you gonna take it in the middle of the night when you wake up crying? That's the real test. Is it gonna make you happy in the middle of the night? I think he might like it. We didn't get any winter coats for ourselves, but in the next couple weeks we have to because we are going into the winter. So we're definitely gonna need winter coats for ourselves because we did not bring them on this trip.
We're also heading further up north.
Yeah, and we're heading north where there's definitely gonna be snow. We're heading to some of the Christmas markets around Europe, which we're really excited about. It's something we've always wanted to do. So the last 6 weeks of our trip will be snow, Christmas markets, hot chocolate, Christmas trees, maybe some ice skating. I don't know. So.
It's sounding too good.
It's sounding too good because today it's 79 degrees in Istanbul. So it's been pretty hot since we've been here.
Not only that, but the humidity is like 78%.
Yeah, it's hot here.
So even though it's November, it's still warm and it's still humid.
Yeah. But so the last 2 weeks we've been here in Istanbul. We're staying in a cute little 2-bedroom apartment over near Taksim Square. It's a lovely little neighborhood. I think it's called Cihangir. Yeah. So it's a great little neighborhood, 2 bedrooms. We have just enough space for us. We have all the amenities that we need. Overall, we've had a good time here so far. Unfortunately, we have only left the apartment maybe 4 or 5 times in 2 weeks. There's been a lot going on. If you watched the previous videos, you saw that we were sick in Cappadocia. All of us were sick. Isla was throwing up. She was pooping through the bed in the middle of the night and throwing up everywhere. We all had coughs and fevers and chills and all of that. We were finally on the tail end of it, leaving Cappadocia. And for the first few days here in Istanbul, we were all fine. But then a few days in, I started to get sick again. I woke up one day with a fever and chills and extremely fatigued. And started getting like a runny nose and a cough, and I was really congested. So we decided to stay in for a few days and kind of rested and tried to get better. And then unfortunately, right when I was on the tail end of it, Isla then got sick, and she had the same symptoms as me, but additionally she was throwing up and diarrhea. So we stayed in a few more days. I think maybe we went out during one of those days when she was feeling okay because we felt kind of guilty staying in the house.
And the kids don't do well staying indoors anyway.
Yeah,
so after a certain
we all
point,
get a little stir crazy.
2 days, and you start hitting that 3rd day, and then...
And there's not much for them to do here. We have a few toys for them, and she has a tablet, and we have the Fire Stick for TV, but we don't have like the things we had at home, like all the toys and all the different options for things to do. So it kind of gets boring here, and there's not really there's no backyard or anywhere to go outside and run around here. So it's been tough staying in. So we all started getting better. We were on the up and up a few days ago, and we were ready to get out there and start exploring some more. But the poor baby woke up one morning with a terrible cough. He was up all night coughing and hacking. He's all congested in his chest. He has runny nose, boogers everywhere. He was feeling really bad. So we decided to stay in again because if he's having trouble with the coughing and the congestion, I don't want him to end up having trouble breathing. And if anyone who's been to Europe, and especially Turkey, knows that you go outside and there's cigarette smoke everywhere, there's pollution, we're in the city. Like, we can't even walk down the street without, like, you know, things being on our face, the smoke, the smog, everything. So we figured it's better to just stay in, let him rest. And the next day, we woke up and he had a couple little spots on his belly, like a little rash or something, but there have been a few mosquitoes in his apartment that have bit us a few times, so we thought it was just mosquito bites, because he's got the worst of it, because I think he's pretty sweaty. So we thought it was a couple mosquito bites, and he was feeling a little better. He wasn't coughing as much, so we went out. We were out all day. We had a great day, and when we came back, we noticed that he had more spots, especially on the back of his neck. It was all like swollen and inflamed, like a huge rash or like hives. And it just got worse. It was spreading. There were more spots. The areas that were red, that were flat before, were now raised and swollen and inflamed. Made me really worried for him. Oh, buddy. Got a little bit worried, and initially we thought that it may be his F-pies somehow, even though it doesn't cause those kind of reactions, because since we've been in the last 2 weeks, we've used this time to kind of food trial him ourselves. A few weeks before that, even before Cappadocia, we decided to try him on rice, which was something that he's never had and he's never had a reaction to, but because he has reactions to oats, wheat, barley, millet, and because rice is one of the biggest triggers for F-pies, we thought it was on the safer side to just not introduce rice yet since he's so little. But it's been so limiting to him and the foods that we can give him, and he was falling behind in his oral skills because he was having a hard time eating chunkier things. He was gagging on everything. There was not a lot of foods that we could give him that were safe, so we decided to trial rice a few weeks before we went to Cappadocia, and he did great. So he's been having rice cakes and rice pudding and things with rice in it, and it's been great, even with rice flour, things like that. So he did great with that. And the hardest trigger for him is the wheat, because that one I think is the most limiting. That means no cakes, no pastries, cereals, things like that. So that's been very limiting to him. So we decided to food trial him ourselves these last 2 weeks, and to our surprise, he did great. He did amazing. He's been doing absolutely fine with all of the foods we've been giving him. He's had no reactions, no vomiting, no diarrhea, nothing that would indicate any kind of reaction to those foods. And they say kids typically outgrow F-pies between 2 and 4, but I've been hearing from a lot of people. I have a F-pies parent support group on Facebook. A lot of people were saying that their kids are outgrowing their triggers around 18 months or around 1 year. Their triggers just went away. So we're very nervous to trial him, but we do have Zofran from his doctor that we brought on this trip specifically in case he had a reaction. That was not nice.
But I think with him falling behind, we've kind of felt like our hands were tied because we're several months out of the country. We're not going to give him back to the allergist, food trials. So I thought it might be smart just to introduce things slowly, and it's been working out very well so far.
Yeah, so he's been doing great with that. So when he first had this rash and everything, our first thought was it's an allergy. But he did get regular allergy tested at the allergist when he was diagnosed with F-pies, and he had no like IgE allergies that would cause hives and stuff like that. But still, like, we weren't ruling it out. So not really sure still what the rash is. And that night we came back, it was so bad, and I was so worried about him. Ryan was worried about him. I didn't want us to miss something that could have been really serious, like a mosquito-borne illness because he was bit by mosquitoes, or I don't even know, an autoimmune disorder. Your mind goes to the worst places. So Ryan took him to the hospital. We've walked by this hospital that's close to our Airbnb a few times. So like 9:30 at night, Ryan was like, you know what, I'm just gonna take him over there, have him check him out so that we all feel better, just because the rash had gotten worse and it has spread. So we took him over there, and unfortunately they don't see pediatrics over there, and the closest hospital that would see him as a pediatric would be like 3 miles away, and he would have to take a taxi. So we just decided to wait it out another night and see what happened by the morning. So here it is this morning, and he woke up and the original spot that was on the back of his neck is almost completely gone, but he is covered from his stomach all the way around to his back, behind his legs, under his armpits, like his crotch area, right where like his diaper meets his legs. He even had a couple spots on his face, and it is just raised and inflamed, and he's itching at it. So we did some research online, and instead of taking him to a hospital here, do you want some food? And instead of taking him to a hospital here, we found an online, like, virtual doctor in the US, and we had like a virtual call with them. We paid like $79, which isn't bad, and that's without insurance. We have traveler's insurance that we might try to get reimbursed later, but we had a virtual appointment with the doctor, and she was really nice, and she said it could be a number of things, but she said if we were in the US that they'll probably do steroids just because it's so inflamed, but she said to try, you know, some children's Zyrtec, some Benadryl. She didn't seem like overly worried that like we need to go to the hospital or anything. So we're kind of just gonna wait it out, and Ryan went to the local pharmacy, and to our luck, they actually sell prednisone over the counter, or, you know, steroids over the counter without a prescription. We did not get the pills because he's still a baby and we don't have any information on dosing, and I don't want to give him steroids without like actually seeing a doctor and getting an actual prescription. But we did get a steroid cream, which we think will be okay, in Benadryl and Zyrtec. So we're gonna try all that, and hopefully he's okay, but he did give us a scare. And of course this is happening at the same time that today is a very special day that we've been looking forward to, because Ryan is heading to the airport in like less than an hour to go pick up his mom and his stepdad. So his mom Jackie and his stepdad Stu are gonna be staying here in Istanbul with us for the next week. We got them a cute little Airbnb, just a couple minutes walk down the street. Really excited. His mom's never really been out of the country. She's been to like Jamaica and Mexico, but nothing like Europe or anything major. They're on a very long 9-hour direct flight from the US. So very excited for them. They're excited to see the kids. They haven't seen the kids in months. We haven't seen them in months. So we're really excited. He's gonna go meet them at the airport and bring them back here. And then we have a very fun week planned. Hopefully this is the last of the sickness and everybody's okay, because we have a very full week planned. We're gonna get out of the house every day and finally go see all this stuff that we've been wanting to see. But we've also used the last 2 weeks to try to potty train Isla. So all of these things have, like, being in the house kind of, you know, sucks, but if we're food trialing him and he could potentially have a vomiting reaction, we need to be indoors all day. Because that's the last thing I want, is for him to start vomiting out in public, because that's happened to me before. One time I took both the kids to Chuck E. Cheese by myself, and he had a pouch early in the morning, just like a, you know, puree pouch, and it had millet in it, but we didn't know at the time he had a reaction to millet. So I had him in the carrier on my body, and I'm chasing around Isla and Chuck E. Cheese, and he started vomiting everywhere. All over the floor, all over me. I'm covered, and then I'm trying to wrangle Isla because we need to go home, because I don't have his Zofran. I don't know if he's gonna be vomiting for hours. I don't know if it's just a few times. So then I'm trying to get him in the car, and he's vomiting in the car while we're driving, and I'm pulling over to make sure he's okay. And so food trials, if we're food trialing him, it means we need to be in all day, because I don't need him having a reaction in public. And then the whole Isla potty training thing sucks, because she's 3 years old now. She's over 3. And we've been trying to potty train her even before this trip. And she does fantastic. If she's butt naked running around the house all day, she will use the potty every single time. As soon as you put underwear on her or a diaper, even if you're reminding her to go to the toilet, she's having an accident. And she thinks it's funny. And I don't know if she's doing it out of spite, but so we've been having a really hard time with that. We're still working on it. We've been trying to do it the last 2 weeks, but hopefully it's the last of us.
Watch your head.
Hopefully it's the last of us being stuck in, and hopefully Buddy's rash gets better. I'm very worried about him. And I hope that, you know, your parents have a really good time here. I'm sure they will. It's a great place here.
I'm optimistic about, you know, our time here in Istanbul. I think Ethan's gonna be on the up and up. We have the medications to help him.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think He seems a lot more comfortable. He's not scratching and doing all that stuff. Just still has a little boogers running down, little runny nose. But
I mean,
he's not itching.
It looks less raised.
Yeah.
But
I did give him that safety thing, so.
Yeah. All that's been going on with our family the last 2 weeks, and also the state of the world is not in a good place right now. We're currently obviously in Turkey, which is part of the Middle East. I'm pretty sure, I think technically it's part of the Middle East. This video won't be posted for probably a few months, but we're here early November, late October, and this is around the time that the Israel and Palestine conflict has begun. Israel started bombing Gaza. So our emotional and mental states, with all the things that we've been seeing and hearing, we've been really emotional about it. It's really hard to sit by and watch a genocide before your eyes. I know a lot of people don't want to take a side, but we have no problem standing for human rights and what is right in the world. We don't stand with any government. Just because the United States is standing with Israel and supporting Israel does not reflect our views as American citizens. We are 100% behind the Palestinian people and their right for freedom, their right to human rights and to have food and fuel and water and not be afraid of being bombed all night and having their children taken away from them. I think that's the hardest part, is seeing, these poor children, they're afraid, and these parents losing their children. And it almost makes you feel guilty for going on with your life and for not having to worry about losing your child like that. And it's also been, causing us to be hyper aware of our surroundings and, watching the news all the time, what's going on. We're in Turkey. Is Turkey going to get involved in the war? Are we safe as Americans here? Because, a lot of people have feelings against America and their stance on this. So thinking, are we safe? Are we going to continue to be safe here? So just being aware of what's going on, it's just been really hard and really emotional, and seeing what's going on right before our eyes. And I mean, people are sitting there saying that if you're against Israel, you're anti-Semitic, but what about everyone who's against the Palestinians? Is that anti-Muslim? I think so. It's a genocide. And you know what? We've met so many wonderful Muslim people. They are probably the nicest people, or one of the nicest people that we've ever met in our lives. Right. Everyone here has been so hospitable and kind, and they go out of their way to be kind to you and helpful. And you don't always see that, especially in America. You don't have strangers being nice to you the way that people have been nice to us and hospitable to us here. So it's just very sad. But Ryan's about to head out to the airport. You want to say hi, Ella? Ryan's about to head out to the airport and go pick up Mimi and Grandpa.
I just wanted to spin something off the last idea. There's been no outward signs of anyone mistreating us just because we are American citizens. Speaking English in public, no one's said it or done anything, and we feel completely safe here. Probably safer than if we were back in America.
Honestly, yeah.
In recent news, the mass shootings and attacks on, Muslims and...
America isn't safe anymore. Nowhere is safe anymore. But there's been a lot of gun violence just in America, and we don't feel safe there either, so...
But, stay tuned, guys, okay? I'll be back with,
Mimi and Grandpa.
Mimi and Grandpa.
They're gonna be so tired.
Mimi and Grandpa, yeah.
All right. Oh my goodness gracious, are you okay? All right, buddy needs a nap, so...
Bye for now.
Bye for now.